Joel Marshall didn't just appear out of nowhere. Every move he's made since stepping into Albert Square has felt calculated, like he's following a playbook written by someone far more dangerous. First, it was the secret filming of Avani Nandra art, then the harassment on the underground, then the online campaign against Stacey Slater. These aren't just random acts of cruelty, they're a pattern, a manifesto being lived out right in front of us. And if you look closer, every time Joel lashes out, his father Ross Marshall is there, silent, complicit, unable to rein him in. The question we should all be asking is simple. Is Ross really failing to control his son, or is he quietly guiding him into something darker? Because next week, that mask of control completely slips. Joel and Tommy Moon find themselves at the heart of a disturbing school incident that rocks Walford High to its core. The BBC wants us to believe it's a story about boys being swept up in toxic influences online, but what if it's bigger than that? What if Joel's obsession with those shadowy corners of the internet isn't just about ideology, but recruitment? Think about it. One troubled teen being radicalized is worrying enough. But two, Joel and Tommy, side by side, pulling each other deeper into this digital rabbit hole of hate. That's not a coincidence. That feels like coordination. And the fallout? It spreads through Walford like wildfire. Parents whispering in the Queen Vic. Teenagers divided, some defending Joel, while others recoil in horror. Kat and Alfie are forced to confront the ugly reality that their own son has been dragged into something poisonous. It's not just a storyline anymore, it's a virus spreading through families, across generations. But the most chilling part hasn't even aired yet. Thursday's preview teases a confrontation at number 43, where Joel, cornered and humiliated, finally snaps. He doesn't just shout, he doesn't just argue. He strikes Vicki Fowler. And in that split-second act of violence, everything changes. Ross can no longer pretend this is teenage rebellion. The square can no longer turn away. Joel Marshall is no longer just a troubled kid. He's a ticking time bomb. But as Joel's violence shocks number 43, another storm quietly brews across Walford. Max Branning, the man whose very name makes hearts race and tempers flare, has returned, but not to make peace. No, Max's appearances have always been calculated, like chess moves laid out across the square. From crashing Lauren and Peter's wedding to his secret rendezvous with Zoe Slater, every interaction leaves a ripple of tension, a chain reaction that nobody can fully predict. And here's where it gets fascinating. Max's chaos intersects with Joel's dissent. Could it be that Max, knowingly or not, fuels a culture of secrecy and obsession that makes the square fertile ground for someone like Joel? Every secret, every betrayal, every whispered argument, these cracks in Walford society become opportunities for toxic behavior to fester. Max's flirtation with disaster mirrors the way Joel and Tommy feed off each other's darkness. It's almost like the square itself conspires to nurture these storms. Meanwhile, deeper in the shadows, the criminal underworld tightens its grip. Ravi Galati's drug network isn't just a backdrop. It's a mirror to Joel's and Max's chaos, manipulation, pressure, and danger lurking behind familiar faces. Kojo Asar, a young man trapped in Ravi's web, collapses under stress, signaling just how destructive unseen influence can be. Harry Mitchell, desperate to protect his friend, realizes that diplomacy won't work. He must fight fire with fire, enlisting his father, Teddy, in a plan that risks everything. Every family in Walford could be drawn into this escalating storm, whether they like it or not. Think about it. Joel Marshall striking Vicki. Max Branning leaves Walford in a haze of regret and secret obsession. Kojo collapsing under criminal pressure. Separately, these are intense moments. But together they form a tapestry of chaos, manipulation, and raw human vulnerability that's almost too intricate to believe. The square is no longer just a setting. It's a character, a living, breathing organism where secrets grow, alliances shift, and every action has consequences that echo beyond any one street. And yet, while the audience watches in horror, the most dangerous element remains unseen. Joel's fascination with toxic online ideologies, Ravi's quiet domination of Walford's underworld, Max's obsessive influence over those around him, it's all connected. A web of human desire, obsession, and unchecked aggression, stretching from the safety of the Queen Vic to the dark alleys where deals are made and lives are ruined. Walford is a powder keg, and someone or something has the match. And while the square reels from Joel's outburst, there's something even darker brewing in the corners of Walford that most viewers won't see coming. Joel's obsession with toxic online ideologies isn't just teenage rebellion, it's a meticulously crafted pattern of manipulation. Every video he shares, every comment he leaves, every private chat with Tommy Moon feels like a coded signal to a world that thrives on anger, control, and dominance. It's not just about power over people in the real world anymore. It's about digital control. Joel has found mentors he will never meet, face-to-face influencers who teach him that cruelty is clever, that manipulation is mastery. Tommy watches and learns, absorbing the same lessons. And soon, they are no longer two boys making mistakes. They are architects of chaos, feeding off each other's darkness, creating a cycle that grows stronger with every secret act. And here's the chilling part. The adults of Walford are missing the warning signs. Ross Marshall, trying and failing to maintain authority, looks the other way more often than he should. Every hesitation, every excuse, every "he'll grow out of it" moment is a door left wide open for Joel to step through. Vicki, brave and compassionate, becomes the human target of Joel's rage, proving that sometimes moral courage meets uncontainable aggression head-on, and the consequences are terrifying. Meanwhile, Max Branning's storyline threads through the chaos like a hidden current. His return to Walford, at first casual and charming, begins to reveal layers of obsession and regret. His encounters with Zoe, Stacy, and Lauren don't just cause social drama. They expose the fragile alliances and simmering tensions that allow someone like Joel to thrive. Max, in many ways, is a reflection of the darker side of desire, obsession, secrecy, and the temptation to interfere in lives that aren't his own. The square itself seems to conspire around him, letting every misstep amplify, every secret fester, every betrayal grow heavier. At the same time, in the shadows, the criminal underworld tightens its grip. Kojo Asar, young, vulnerable, and trapped in Ravi Galati's drug operation, represents another type of pressure that parallels Joel's toxic path. When he collapses from stress, clutching his chest, it isn't just a physical warning, it's symbolic of the consequences when influence, control, and fear go unchecked. Harry Mitchell, desperate to protect his friend, realizes that conventional methods won't work. The police can't be involved, the gang will retaliate, and Walford could erupt into violence that no one is ready for. Together, Harry and Teddy form a dangerous, morally grey alliance of one father and son against a criminal empire that thrives on fear. Their plan is risky, maybe reckless, but it's the only way to wrest Kojo from the shadows. Every decision, every movement, every whispered conversation could ignite an all-out war. And just when you think the square has reached its breaking point, Walford throws another curveball. Secrets leak, alliances shift, and old grudges reignite. Joel's actions ripple outward, Max's obsession deepens, and the Mitchells edge closer to confrontation with the Galati gang. Every character becomes a piece on a chessboard, each move creating a new possibility for betrayal, disaster, or revelation. Consider the bigger picture. What started as a story about teenage misconduct and relationship drama evolves into a complex web of influence, ambition, and manipulation. Joel's radicalization, Max's secret obsessions, and Ravi's criminal network are all threads of the same tapestry. Walford is no longer a village, It's a pressure cooker of ambition, secrecy, and human weakness, and it's only a matter of time before the lid blows. But just when it seems the chaos in Walford couldn't get any darker, the square reminds everyone that nothing is ever as it seems. Joel Marshall, having struck Vicki, now faces a backlash he wasn't expecting. His friends begin to question their loyalty, whispers turn into confrontations, and for the first time, the magnitude of his actions hits him. But instead of remorse, there's only defiance. Joel refuses to be contained, and in that defiance lies a terrifying promise. This is far from over. Meanwhile, Max Branning, the master of disruption, watches from the sidelines, aware that his return has set off waves he cannot fully control. Every interaction with Zoe, Stacy, and Lauren becomes another twist in the web, another subtle manipulation that could explode at any moment. Max realizes that Walford itself is a living organism, the perfect stage for human desires to collide and for secrets to spill. Every choice he makes, whether stepping back or stepping in, has consequences far beyond his imagination. And as Max navigates his own storm, the Mitchells face a threat unlike any they've encountered. Kojo's collapse has revealed the true brutality of Ravi Galati's empire, and Harry's desperation to save his friend pushes him and Teddy to the edge. Plans are drawn in whispers, and every decision is shadowed by the possibility of betrayal. Even as they prepare, Walford seems to conspire against them. Doors slam unexpectedly, phones buzz with unknown messages, and a new figure looms just out of sight, watching their every move. The convergence of these storylines is almost too perfect to ignore. Joel's digital radicalization, Max's obsessive return, and Kojo's entanglement in the criminal underworld are not isolated incidents. They are threads woven into the same tapestry of control, secrecy, and hidden agendas. Every character's move affects the other, and Walford itself becomes the ultimate battlefield. Just when tension peaks, a shocking betrayal shakes the square. Someone close to Joel leaks details of his online activity, exposing his darkest thoughts to the community. Tommy Moon, once loyal, begins to question the path they've been on. Parents gather at the Queen Vic, whispers turn into arguments, and the moral fabric of Walford begins to tear. Meanwhile, Max learns that someone he trusted has manipulated him into revealing more than he intended, fueling suspicion and paranoia. And then, the Mitchells' mission to save Kojo escalates into outright danger. Teddy sneaks into Kojo's flat to intercept an unknown deal, only to encounter Ravi and Oki returning unexpectedly. A tense standoff begins, and every second counts. Will Teddy be discovered? Will Kojo's life be put in immediate danger? And as the Mitchells plan their next move, the digital trail Joel has left threatens to intersect with this criminal showdown, meaning no one, not a single resident of Walford, is safe from the ripple effect of chaos. In these final moments, the square holds its breath. Joel, Max, and Kojo each face choices that could change Walford forever. Secrets are on the verge of exploding, alliances are fraying, and the web of manipulation grows more tangled by the hour. Every character's action could tip the balance, and the question on everyone's mind is simple. Who will survive, who will betray, and who will be broken by the events that are about to unfold? Walford stands at a crossroads. Violence, betrayal, and hidden agendas collide, and the aftermath promises to be explosive. And just when you think you know who holds the power, the square reminds us of one brutal truth. In Walford, no one is safe, no secret is permanent, and every action, no matter how small, can ignite a chain reaction that changes everything. So, as you tune in next week, remember this. Joel Marshall is not just a troubled teen. Max Branning is not just a returning character. And Kojo Asar is not just a victim. They are catalysts in a story that stretches far beyond the walls of the square, a story of influence, obsession, and consequences. And Walford is watching, waiting, and ready to explode. Walford is a place where secrets fester, alliances shatter, and danger hides behind every familiar face. And right now, one family's darkest secret is about to explode in ways no one could predict. Joel Marshall didn't just appear out of nowhere. Every move he's made since stepping into Albert Square has felt calculated. Secret filming, harassment on the underground, online attacks, these aren't random acts. They're a pattern, a manifesto being lived out right in front of us. And if you look closer, every time Joel lashes out, his father Ross Marshall is silent, complicit, unable to stop him. Is Ross really failing or guiding him into something far darker? But before we dive deeper into the chaos, do this one thing. Hit that like button if you're captivated, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a single twist. Trust me, what's coming next is darker, more twisted, and far more shocking than anything you've seen in Walford before. All right, buckle up. Things are about to explode. Joel and Tommy Moon are heading straight into a storm at Walford High. The BBC tells us this is about boys influenced by online toxicity, but it's bigger than that. Joel's obsession isn't just ideology, it's recruitment. He's not alone. Tommy amplifies it, learning, copying, reinforcing a pattern of hate. And the fallout spreads like wildfire. Parents whisper at the Queen Vic. Teens divide into factions. Kat and Alfie confront the painful truth. Their son has become a ticking time bomb. Then it happens, number 43. Joel snaps. He doesn't just argue. He strikes Vicki Fowler. In that split second, everything changes. Ross can no longer pretend this is teenage rebellion. Joel Marshall isn't just a troubled kid. He's a danger to everyone around him. Meanwhile, Max Branning's return is shaking Walford in ways no one sees coming. From crashing Lauren and Peter's wedding to secret rendezvous with Zoe, every move Max makes causes a ripple effect. Max isn't just causing drama. He mirrors Joel's chaos. His obsession, secrecy, and influence show how easily one person can manipulate a community. And like Joel, Max is walking a dangerous line. Every choice has consequences that echo across the square. Pause. Insert suspenseful music, slow-motion shots of Max's reactions. Is it a coincidence that these storms converge, or is Walford itself a pressure cooker for chaos? While the square watches Joel and Max, a different kind of danger brews. Kojo Asar, trapped in Ravi Galati's criminal empire, collapses under pressure. Harry Mitchell must act, but police involvement could be deadly. Together, Harry and Teddy devise a risky plan to rescue Kojo, infiltrating the shadows where one wrong move could mean disaster. Every character, Joel, Max, Kojo, now exists in the same network of influence, power, and danger. Secrets leak. Alliances shift. And suddenly, the digital world Joel commands and the criminal world Kojo inhabits are on a collision course with Walford itself. Nothing is safe. No one is untouchable. And then everything converges. Joel faces betrayal as his online activities are exposed. Tommy questions his loyalty. Max realizes he's been manipulated. Teddy faces off with Ravi and Oki in a tense standoff. Walford's residents hold their breath. Every choice could ignite disaster. Joel, Max, and Kojo stand at the edge of chaos, each a catalyst for destruction. And here's the cruel twist. Walford itself is the ultimate character, a living organism where secrets, ambition, and obsession collide. The next week promises explosive drama, and nobody, absolutely nobody, will escape unscathed. So what happens next in Walford? Will Joel spiral further out of control? Will Max finally face the consequences of his obsessions? Can Harry and Teddy save Kojo from Ravi's empire?